Hey, Podcast America. Welcome to episode 63 of the Enlightened Neanderthals podcast. Let's talk about my company, Training Northwest, which you can find at trainingnorthwestllc.com. There are still 2 openings left in the Rifleman Camp, which is coming up August 9 to 11. It's a really fun 3-day weekend out at our range in Granite Falls. If that's something that's been tickling your fancy, don't miss out on that because it won't be available again until next August. Mm-hmm. I don't even want to get into the pantheon of podcasts because I don't know who's putting out episodes anymore. What did we talk about, Mike?
We talked about dirt bike, boys.
Yeah.
I feel like this was more of a conviction with you two because you already own one. Mm-hmm. I sold mine like a jabroni, as a rock would say. I'm a four-wheeler boy right now.
You and Greg both.
But I need to get
at
back.
Breakfast this morning, Greg said, I wish I still had my KTM, and I bet there's a part of Mike that's thinking, I wish I still had my dirt bike.
Yeah, I guarantee. Yeah, absolutely. But no, we just, I don't know. Recreational vehicles are fun.
It's fucking
and
the best.
Dirt bikes, a little side-by-side talk, just the what-ifs, the wet dreaming kind of what's our best bike and what we want.
They represent adventure to come.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Emphasis on the come.
All right, we'll leave it right there. Enjoy the episode, you guys. We're going to go dirt biking. All right, so what I was saying is that my skill level is XR 250, but my desire is CRF 450. Yeah. So we've got a little bit of a gap there. But then I think the future for me is going to be one of those bigger touring bikes with like the hard case saddlebags or whatever that you can put some camping gear in. Think like the BMW or KTM kind of adventure bikes because they do come, they have the good suspension and off-road tires, so you're not going to go like rally single track, like rip corners and send jumps. But you can go off, quote unquote.
This poor cat is
this fucking cat. He likes podcasting because he only shows up when we're podcasting. So the Fish Lake, Lake Scout. I have a feeling that's going to be a lot of gravel road.
I hope that's what I hope, but
I'm hoping it's a lot of single and double track.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I think so. Dan's taking us out, and it's
his
his
spot. Does that mean you need a new bike?
No, it means I get to borrow his son's bike because I don't have one. But we found an area. It seems that you can ride a motorcycle to the high hunt area, and normally it's walking in. You got to hike.
So now this is exactly why I need that adventure bike with all the storage for camping gear.
Yeah. But I don't know if it's like an old service road that they kind of maintain, or it's like this is a trail up a mountain, and sometimes you got to go up boulders, sometimes you got to go over crazy trees, and so
it could be overgrown as shit too. We could end up on our feet bushwhacking. It'll be an adventure.
But then it's like when it gets to that point, it's like I start thinking of this because I think about this a lot about whether a side-by-side would be amazing. And you can take a side-by-side almost anywhere. But then you get to single lane, dirt bike actual trails that take you to places that vehicle access isn't possible. You need a bike that's has the power and squirreliness and performance that can get up some crazy stuff. But also, I think if you have that dual sport, that's a 450, I feel like that's so much extra weight. You have frame, you have bulk.
Well, that's why I want to look up specs. And I'm curious I want to know the weight difference between a CRF 450, a CRF 300, and an XR 250. And I'm curious if the weight difference is significant because I think those CRFs are water cooled. I'm not 100%, where my XR is air cooled. Yeah. So that right there adds a lot of weight of a radiator plus the fluid.
Yeah. And more stuff to go wrong.
Exactly.
Maybe having a smaller, easier made engine means more reliability.
More reliability and much easier to fix quickly. And I found out yesterday, actually, because I had to stop by the, whatever you call it, the power sports store to get some parts for Nathan's XR100 carburetor, and Honda has discontinued parts for some of the XRs now, which is really? Like, oh fuck, because there's a million
time
of them
to get a new bike.
Well, no, it's not, because what I really like about the XRs is there's nothing on them, like all the maintenance can be done any one task like maximum an hour.
Yeah.
That's the most time you're going to spend on one task on those things. You can have the seat and the tank off in less than 5 minutes, and then everything is right there.
Yeah.
It's so easy to work on.
Why Honda?
Just because they're reliable.
What you've had?
Yeah. And I mean, no, I've got nothing against like Yamaha. I'm sure Yamaha has their equivalent of the XR. The XR has been around forever. I thought the parts would be everywhere. I'm sure there's a shitload of them on eBay still. So actually, I should probably just stock up on a few XR parts from eBay for that reason. Yeah, no particular reason other than Hondas are just known to be reliable. Like my bike's a 98 and the one I bought for Nathan's a 97, and
Still kicking.
Yeah, they're still kicking like the day they were new.
Does Honda and Yamaha make side-by-sides?
I'm sure
They do.
And does Kawasaki make?
Kawasaki, I don't know if Kawasaki makes a side-by-side, but like the Hondas is like the Talon, I think.
Okay.
What do side-by-sides probably start at like $25,000?
I think 15, 20
Well,
maybe.
I think like 15, right? And it depends on what you're getting, right? But I think if you're going side-by-side route.
Plus a $7,000 trailer probably.
Yeah, I mean, depending. You can get ones that go up in the backyard. Like my dad's, it goes up over the cab of his truck. It's pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah.
So then he can still pull a boat or like his trailer or whatever and go have a weekend.
What's that?
Which looks weird though, because I've going east of the mountains going camping, and you see a guy with a big old lifted F350 dually, and then he's got a rack and he's got a side-by-side on top of it. It is so massive. Then he's pulling a giant trailer. It's like, that's a monstrosity.
I'd rather have the adventure bike with my tent and a little sidecar.
Well, that's what he would do. Like his motorcycle, he would take on like road trips to fucking wherever, but it was a street bike.
Yeah.
And he would pull his little tent out and
just
set
on the
up
side
and
of the
do his
highway
thing.
somewhere.
And but as far as like these adventure bikes go, I feel like I'm more of a dirt bike guy than a street bike guy.
I am too. But I like the idea that I don't have to. I can just get on it and go.
Yeah, but I feel like if you were to do that, you'd end up, I mean, and not to say that it's not a problem, right? It'd be cool.
Yeah.
But if I had a bike like that, I would want to go up over the mountains on the freeway and then go up into hills and shit like that. And it's like, I don't need to be riding like that because I'm pussy.
But that's the nice thing of like loading your bike into your truck, going camping somewhere like we did Colville. But it's like a nicer bike like that. I would ride those the main roads of that area.
Yes.
I would go 15 miles out into town
you park your truck and you're good to go. But I think that's the cool thing about like a street legal like kind of
XR,
light dual sport.
Yeah.
You know, like I think there's something cool about having a kind of a dirt bike on the road and you get to do that. But it's made primarily to do single track, but you can go on the road and not feel like you're gonna die.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, and that's why I bought what I bought.
Yeah, I like that bike because do you have a light on yours?
Yes, headlight. It's licensed for street use.
Okay,
so I have a license plate and street registration, so it has a headlamp, tail light, rear view mirror.
Yeah, so and you can convert, right? You can buy bikes that aren't and then set them up too.
Mine was originally not licensed for street, so whoever had it before me had to do the conversion, and then you take it to State Patrol and get it stamped, and then they will issue you a registration that says for on-road use.
Yeah, I think that's what I want to get a different bike. I enjoy the T-Dub.
So we're leaving here and headed to Cycle Barn is what I heard.
We could.
Right.
We could.
I mean, that's
this
I
is
wouldn't
perfect
get
for hunting.
rid of it.
No. I'm not getting rid of it.
Because that's a perfect camp bike. That's a perfect.
For what we did the other day, I think it's set up better to do what we did putting around like that than almost any other bike.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not
made for that.
Yeah.
It's comfortable too. Yeah.
Yeah. You just sit on it all day and just, kind of cruise around and
It's
you
like
could
a
throw somebody in
Forest
the back.
Harley. You're just kind of comfort cruising.
Yeah, no, I had a great time. I mean, I think we all did, right?
Yeah,
and that's just
hunting.
You go out there because it's not enough to where it's like intimidating for anybody to get on. Anybody can just jump on that and go, okay, let's kind of cruise around, and that big tire gets so much traction. It's like, this is really nice. But it would be cool to be able to get a bike where if we wanted to go up, we find a spot we're camping or we're hunting or scouting or just whatever we're doing, load all the bikes in the back and then go rip around. And then if we want to go down and grab a bite in town, we can all ride bikes in town, not have to get in a truck.
I was going to suggest it until I got a look at the one restaurant there in Springdale, and I thought, I'm not eating there.
Yeah, well, I mean, but that's something that, you know, we could do.
Yeah.
But on this bike, it's like you're really pushing it. You're really pushing it. Like, I rode today to Mike's house here, and it's only like 10 miles, but those 45-mile-an-hour roads is about all she wants.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's getting a little squirrely. I got it up to like 60, 65, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna slow it down here. I'm gonna slow it down.
Does it stay straight, or with that huge back tire, does it suck into the grooves of the road as you get faster?
No, I mean, I only did it for a brief moment. Let's be honest. I probably, I dropped it back down to about 50 real quick. Yeah. But
do you know what tire pressure you have in there?
I have no clue.
So that's something you got to get nerdy about. For both on and off road use, you're gonna have different pressure, and that can make a huge difference, both like in the safety of riding it on the road at high speed, and just in the.
It felt a little washy. I'll say that. It felt like there's probably not a ton of pressure in that tire. But I'll tell you what, she'll grip.
Yeah.
Ripping asphalt. Yeah.
It was fun though. But I'd like to get set up on that, and like if there's got to be. It's endless, right? The amount of stuff we could do to a dirt bike to go camping and like have these little adventures. Like I do want to go do that cross the straight.
Yep.
What is it? The back country
adventure trail or something like that.
Yeah, or
Cascade Adventure Trail, something like that.
Yeah, that would be fucking.
There's a couple spots on that where we have to ride highways, like legit, like Highway 12, and I think at one point you're on Blewett Pass, maybe.
I thought that was 100% off-road.
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But we can ride off-road segments. We don't have to do. I want to do the entire thing from Canada to Oregon, the entire Washington section, which would require. There's at least, I want to say there was like 20 to 50 miles of on the highway.
Really?
Down around Mount St. Helens.
Okay, I didn't look at it good enough then.
Which we could do. It's just a little like
not on this
like you said. Yeah, our bikes are a little scary on like a no shit highway.
Yeah, no, I honestly don't know that this is legal on a no shit highway. I don't know that that's even kosher. Like, and I'd have to like
we would definitely get laughed
everything.
At. Yeah, we definitely get laughed at.
I want to Loctite everything. Yeah.
Oh no, we need to do some like. I was thinking about this. Yesterday when we were discussing going to either Walker Valley or Fish Lake today. And I thought before we go do the big Fish Lake day, we need to do a couple of shorter rides just to work out. Like I need to figure like, so coming from like, adventure type mountain bike racing, you need to have all your tools and tubes and all the shit that you're going to need to fix all your own shit in the backcountry. And I don't have any of that for a dirt bike. So I kind of need to wade in slowly till I figure out all the problems I'm going to have all the things that need to be strapped into that toolkit so that we don't get stuck out back.
You got your pliers on you?
Oh,
well, there you go, dude.
Yeah. I'm wearing cargo shorts. Are you kidding me? Do I have my fucking pliers on me?
Yeah. These little Nipex fucking
hands down. Have we ever talked about these on this show? These are my favorite everyday carry item now. Jordan got me a pair of these little mini. Where are they? Nipex channel locks. What are these, like 4 inches?
Yeah, they're the 125 millimeter. Or whatever
it says right there, 125. Which I use the big ones at work. They're the best. They're the best pliers I've ever had. I have 2 pairs of them in my tool bags at work, and having this little teeny tiny pocket size pair that Jordan hooked me up because I had seen you carrying them, and I was like, dude, that's genius. That's the hands down the most handy thing you could ever have in your pocket because like on a Gerber or a Leatherman, oh shit, he's got a little little multi-driver there too. I like that thing.
Yeah.
The needle nose pliers on like a Gerber or a Leatherman tool, needle nose pliers aren't good for shit. Having the angle and the head and the adjustable mouth like a channel lock style has makes it they're so much more useful, and there's so much more you can do with them. And so having that little, do you know how many times I've used those in the month that I've had those things in my pocket?
Dude, I'm telling you, they're the most handy fucking thing. Yeah. I've been carrying, I won't say the same set because I've gone through like 3 of them. Mm-hmm. I think I've lost a set, and I gave a set away, and then I'm on my second that I haven't lost here. But they're so handy, and like you said, like having a multi-tool is nice. The function of having pliers, just to be able to grip something a little stronger and like actually have any use to unscrew a bolt or whatever you need. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be perfect or ideal, but they've gotten me out of so many situations. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that compared to like I'd rather carry a knife and a pair of those Cobra pliers like that versus any multi-tool. Yeah. I'd rather carry 2 separate. Now they're both in either pocket, so it's kind of slim and you don't feel it as bulky. Yeah. And you're getting 100% functionality of a knife and 100% functionality of pliers versus like a half-assed mutant form of the both. Yeah. So I'm a huge fan of carrying that. And then I started carrying that little like
let me see that screwdriver. Is that a Weehaw?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So both German made.
Yeah, well, I can't help it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's so many times you end up needing a little tool for something, or you know.
Does it have other driver tips in the handle? Is it
no? It's just a.
So you got to replace the tip. Yeah, that's awesome though.
But it's just a sweet little thing because I mean, again, there's times where you're out there or you're just doing something. It's like I need this, and it's like, oh, do you? Here you go. And then you can be the useful guy. Yeah. And it's fun to be the useful guy every once in a while.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I had to swap out my faucet on my kitchen sink. It sprung a leak. So the new one came, and you bust it out and you're like, all right, what do I need to go dig out of the garage? And it's like, wait a minute. I got a flashlight and a pair of pliers in my pocket. Yeah. Let's get under the sink, boys. We're good to go.
Yeah. Yeah, the things that I'm trying to carry, like that everyday carry EDC stuff, is a lighter, a flashlight, a knife, those pliers, and then this little screwdriver.
Yeah, I like that.
And the thing is, it's like it's not too big. It's rounded most everywhere, so you're not getting poked with anything. Yeah. So it's I don't know. I'm a nerd, dude. When it comes to this like pocket,
I'm gonna be on Amazon stuff next week looking for something like that.
Yeah, and it's got a strong little magnet on there and. I don't know. It's nice.
Makes him happy. Look at him. Look at him. He's glowing.
I gave up on it, dude. You guys are all into your EDC, and I'm like, I'm gonna get a pocket knife.
Mike's got some weed and a lighter.
That's my EDC.
Yeah, a pipe and a fucking.
No, I was like, I'm gonna get a knife and a little flashlight. I always see Jordan. He's like, oh, check out this knife, and I got this new flashlight. It's like I'm gonna get some EDC. 2 weeks later, my knife fell apart.
I gotta get
and my flashlight stopped working, and I was like, I'm done. I am not EDC guy.
What knife did you buy?
I don't know, something off of Amazon. It was like $40.
I bought this little Streamlight rechargeable, little teeny tiny
that's the
pocket flashlight.
That's the one.
I really like that thing.
I've had this, and it's I think this is probably the best flashlight for bang for your buck, and because it's just bright enough to be able to see what you need to see. Mm-hmm. It's small, it's light, it tucks, it hides, it will disappear in your pocket. Yep. These things are sweet.
And sits right next to my knife.
You're like a QVC late night description.
Yeah. But wait, there's more.
Not only does it hide in your pocket.
Have you seen that video of the guy talking about the baseball cards? And he's like, look. You want to be the Coxwalk.
Yeah.
You buy this for $39.95, and you walk into any bar and you find the hottest chick in there, and you say, me, we're together now.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, can I go home with you? Yes, you can.
That's how you sell baseball cards.
Yeah, he goes, why? Because you know that you're the man that deals don't get passed.
Holy shit.
Deals don't pass you up. And the guy, it's so funny.
Dude, some of those infomercials are nuts. I was watching one the other day, and it was a lady selling a bologna folder. Like, it folds bologna. They're like, part of the problem of today's life is you have all this bologna, but
It's
you
all
don't
flat.
know what to do with it.
All your flat bologna.
Yeah. And so she pulls out this thing, and it's like, it's the bologna folder. You put your pile of bologna on. Of course, it was like a Texas woman, but she puts a pile of bologna on, and then she hand cranks it on like a conveyor belt, and it rolls out one piece of bologna and drops it onto a round disc. And then she's like, and then you fold your bologna, and this disc goes in half, and it's supposed to fold it over. You fold it like this, doesn't fold. Fold it like this, doesn't fold. Fold it like this. And so she keeps trying, but it's like, this is a piece of shit product that doesn't work, but she's still hawking it on TV. Like, there's going to be some bugs to work out at first, and there's a learning curve.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Who sells a bologna folder?
Well, that's the greatest thing because it's like it's live. They don't.
You
cut
thought you
that.
could only put it on white bread. You can put these in a hot dog bun.
Yeah.
You ever see the guy cut himself?
Yes.
With the he's selling like
Nice.
swords.
Yeah.
And he fucking cuts himself
slices himself?
with like a katana.
Oh shit!
Dude,
God
the
damn.
best was that guy that was selling those like A-frame ladders, and he was demonstrating how to set it up and sell it and stuff. And he put it into the A-frame mode, but he didn't lock the pin in to like give it
collapse while he's on
structure.
top of it.
And he climbs to the top, and it just completely straightens out, and he hits the ground so
first.
hard, and you hear.
That's like, you think that's like the fucking Super Bowl for like trade show guys? Like they're like, I'm trying to get on
QVC, but
I'm trying to get on QVC real bad. Like you see him at like
Concussion
the
of
Puyallup
the
Fair,
year.
you know, selling those.
I got that
fucking,
headset on. But wait, there's more.
Yeah,
That used to be. I mean,
you're in there selling fucking
does that still
guards for your
exist?
gutters.
Does that still exist? Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Things
sure.
like that
I
don't die.
I don't have
Hang
like
on, let's
cable.
ask your mom. What does she watch at night?
Yeah. Let me call
Check
my
out
grandma.
these baseball cards. I'm the cock walks, boys.
For a while there,
Good deal. Don't get past me.
actually, we're the right generation. You guys tell me if you've experienced this, where there was like a period when your grandparents were still alive, where a lot of your Christmas presents you would recognize from. You'd be like, "Oh, this came from either As Seen on TV, the store, or it came off QVC."
Sweet 4 gold-plated quarters in a plastic case. Thanks, Grandma.
Yeah. I had a
I saw these at 1 a.m. and I thought of you.
a hand crank flashlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I still have a hand crank little radio in my garage. I was like, ooh, this is a good little prepper item. I stuck it on the top shelf.
They got him, dude.
She got me.
But that's the thing is like I remember seeing that like my great grandma and my grandma, we'd go over there and it was like you'd see whatever present, if it's Christmas time, and it'd be like a flashlight that you have to shake to get the battery to charge, or
Big,
it was like
Big Billy Bass, or what was it?
Yeah,
Big
yeah.
Mouth
Big Mouth
Billy.
Billy.
his head would come off.
me to the water.
But then, like, George Foreman became a billionaire for selling that little grill,
The
like
Foreman.
the George Foreman grill.
Fuck, we have one of those in the break room.
Yeah, it's a panini press that's off angle. You're like,
Dude, there's dudes going to the grocery store getting steaks and cooking them on the George Foreman in the lunchroom.
Oh, that's how I cooked all my food in my 20s. Was on my Foreman.
sad day, dude.
Yeah.
If you get like the seasoned kebabs from the deli or from the butcher counter, they come out pretty good. Yeah.
I mean, it's
For a construction
it's heat.
site lunchroom, yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
But it's funny that it's
you're gonna
like
need a little Teflon with it, but you know what?
that's okay.
It's all right.
George was a champion, dude.
But that median doesn't really exist anymore. Like, because I felt like as growing up, there was like maybe 60 channels, even with like people had satellite and they're like, I have 700 channels. But it's like, really, you've got you had like your basic CBS, NBC, and kind of Fox. And then you started to get new networks like actual like CNN, Nickelodeon, FX, Comedy Central. Like you got all these kind of major players, and then everything else was like the Golf Network. It wasn't real TV that people watched. So there's really only 60 channels, and the whole United States was kind of watching these 60 channels. And then at about midnight, 1 a.m., all of those channels would pretty much run infomercials.
Yeah.
And people would always see infomercials.
Yeah. Remember when
now
it
just
was like
get
an entire
ads.
hour of like getting seeing knives.
The Ginsu, yeah. It cuts through the other knives.
And you're like, I wonder when is this commercial over?
I need 10.
I just remember sitting there and be like, when is this commercial over? So the next show will come on, or the next late night movie, and then you realize like, this is an hour.
commercial.
This is an hour long commercial.
Yeah.
This is the show.
Yeah, if I got insomnia, I'm fucked. I remember being a kid, like, because I would sleep on my couch, and I would, or lack thereof sleep, and just zone into whatever fucking infomercial that was being played. And it's like, it was the same thing as scrolling today. It was just like, you'd get there and it just like, and then next thing you know, it's like, I'm watching something about a roller tote or like whatever that the roly-poly tote or whatever, and it just like roll out into a little fucking, and or like you said, the ladder thing or
It's only 6 easy payments of $17.95.
yeah. Anybody can afford this.
This is a great idea.
But that median doesn't really exist anymore. I mean, you get pop-ups and ads on your cell phone for
Dude, I think
big
they still
products.
do the infomercials. Like, I'm almost positive they still
But do
do.
people watch? I mean, I don't think as many
who watches
people
network?
watch TV.
Do people watch TV channels anymore, or is it all just streaming service?
I'm sure there's
Just people watching USA Network or TBS or
people
whatever.
still listen to the fucking radio in their car,
I do
do
sometimes.
they? Like FM radio?
which is wild to me.
Dope when you say that, like it's
Yeah,
like,
seriously. I have not listened to the radio in probably 5 years.
I can't stand commercials.
Yeah.
Like, so when I'm on like any kind of streaming thing and any, like even the commercial that pops up in the beginning of shit, it's like, God damn it. And it's like looking back when you were a kid and watching TV, it was half commercial.
yeah.
You were watching, so
20
like,
a half hour show was actually 20-minute show and 10 minutes of commercial.
Yes,
And then I think it started off as
Got to
like 20.
17 and 13.
Yeah. So
they'd leave you on cliffhangers too. Sons of bitches.
God damn it. Yeah.
Such-
You got to wait till tomorrow to find out if He-Man's going to win this one.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
it got so bad. I think there's an episode of Urkel. He walked in and then it cut to a commercial break. You know,
It's just like, no.
like it started and then they took a break.
Did I do that? Yeah. What's Mr. Feeney going to say next?
But there were good commercials. Like that used to be back in the day. Like I remember being younger.
That's true.
For the
It was
Super
almost
Bowl.
like a competition, not even just the Super Bowl, but
But
like
Super
on
Bowl-
after school TV, there was, it
Yeah.
was like Doritos versus Pepsi and Cheetos and all. Like they were kind of competing to see who could come up with the most catchy commercial. But back then, that's how they were selling their product. I don't know how people. What is the main method of advertising these days? Is it just pop-ups on the internet?
I think so.
influencers.
Yeah,
you know,
I
probably
think-
celebrity endorsements. George Clooney pushes your vodka more or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tequila,
Yeah.
coffee with what's his name from Always Sunny? Don't they have a coffee together?
Oh, I'm not sure, dude.
Please tell me it's Charlie
Yeah.
or Danny.
Danny DeVito.
Does he has a coffee line?
I think he's in the commercial.
Frank's Coffee, guaranteed to make you poop in the bed.
So I started blasting.
Dude, the thing is, like that's really the way to advertise these days. Like product placement. Like look at fucking Bud Light, right? Bud Light went through it just the other day, which I still don't drink it because fuck you, right? But at the same time,
Kid Rock's endorsed it though.
everybody endorses it, right? But
You throw money at it, right? You go, oh fuck,
Shane-
that was a bad advertising campaign. We
we
better
fucked
throw
up.
money at a good
we
advertising.
fire
campaign.
that lady, and now get back to the boys and
The boy.
yeah, but that's
twins. Remember the Coors Light twins?
Yeah.
That's how you sell fucking beer. What beer is in that refrigerator right now?
How do you think?
You know what I'm
Do you
saying?
think the gay community drinks much beer at all?
No.
Oh yeah,
Yeah?
fuck yeah. There's a bunch of gays out there drinking beer.
Michelob Ultra or like what's their?
No, I think it's like
Craft beer?
Craft beer.
Okay.
I think they're drinking craft beer. I don't think you're gonna find either that or like the hipster kind of like.
Hey, give me one of
PBR.
those silver bullets.
No, well, maybe not that, but more like a Rainier, or like a
the hip-
Olympia, or
The
like
hipsters
a
in
hipster.
Seattle love the Rainier and Olympia, even if they don't like the beer. It's not
I
the
do
beer
like
they like.
Rainier.
It's the name on the side of the can they like and the image of holding it.
Do you
Although
think
Ra-
Rainier tastes good?
I like it,
I
but
love
I
it.
like shitty lager beer.
Yeah.
I also like Coors Light.
Yeah.
If you say I don't like Coors Light, but I like Rainier, you're just drinking it for the image.
Yeah.
You're lying to yourself. Bud Light, though, I was trying to be a Bud Light guy for a while there, and then I was like, it got a little. There's a little like.
Do we need to do? Okay, so we did a Keystone Light, Coors Light side by side. Do we need to add a Bud Light in there? You
I don't
do
think
a Keystone Light, Coors Light, Bud Light.
I don't think that there's. It just got a little bit more. I get heartburn.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, you know what that is? That's your internal trans
coming out.
Trying to bubble up a little bit.
It checks out. Checks out.
I did a tour of a Bud Light bottling and distribution and brewing plant down outside of Sacramento way back in the day, and it smelt the town that this place was in. We got a hotel,
Like
there.
a bakery.
It smelled like McDonald's hamburger buns. Like just these golden, fresh, fluffy buns. The air smelled like that from them brewing that barley and
Were
roasting
you there when we
it.
poured beer in the sauna thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of that same smell.
That was more low. But yeah, I was there.
I was present.
Yeah.
But
the Red Sparrow did that.
Oh, shit.
that's the funniest thing. Dan was not happy about that at all.
No.
It smelled delicious in there.
Yeah, but it smells like
it
bread.
smelled like baking bread.
But then it started like smelling a little burnt.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it kind of had a little funk to it. And I was like, yeah. What kind of yeast are they using here?
Shit.
Have you guys ever made your own beer or alcohol?
I have not.
Sure.
Well, so it wasn't. I was involved in the drinking portion, and I was involved in. I was in school, right? So my buddies back home, they started kind of getting into beer and like brewing and doing all that stuff, and we were kind of all talking about it. And one of my buddies, who's like actually going to follow through with a drunken idea, he goes and like gets all the stuff to brew beer and start brewing a batch of beer. And the first one came out awesome, I guess. Drank a little bit of it, and it's like, oh, this is cool. And he's like, I'm going to get into brewing. And like everybody was at one point. And coming up with names, the greatest name ever was going to be Red, White, and Brew.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good name. But the second batch, apparently you need to clean all that equipment very well.
Oh, dude, you got to sterilize it.
That second batch, everybody got fucking sick as shit.
Yeah.
After, and ended up having to dump a bunch of it. But yeah, everybody got sick. It was like, oh, motherfuckers.
Dumbass.
Yeah, Dylan, Aaron, and Chris.
Fucking guys.
It was hilarious. I just remember coming back and they were like, dude, nope. I was like, what's the next thing? And they're like, no more. Okay. These are the same guys that like we realized that it was cheaper. The amount of beer we were drinking, it was cheaper to buy a keg and keep a keg. So we were like, oh, let's just all pitch in on a keg and we'll do that. But we did it in the summer and kept it in the back of one of our buddies' houses. So it was like heating up and cooling down, down.
Yeah.
And we'd keep it. But then we found out that it was more expensive to buy ice and keep the thing closed. So we went through a phase of like, oh, we're going to fucking hack the system because we're drinking so much. And we'll just keep it back here. So we'd all go back and just start
Smartest
drinking beer.
men alive.
Yeah. And then like one year we brought a keg to the Gorge to what was that, Watershed, and like
that's just common sense.
Chained it to a tire and all this other stuff, and did beer keg stands and stuff, and then like again realized that we couldn't cool the thing fast enough, and we're like, fuck, so it's getting all hot, and we're drinking warm beer, and it's like this is awesome.
You didn't have the trash can of ice.
Oh,
so you planned it out halfway and then just kind of shit the bed.
No, we had a trash can and ice, but it would just melt. Right, it was hot. It was like 100 degrees over there. Yeah. We're fucking trying to keep this thing cold. It was bad news. But yeah, then we just kind of realized, and that was the same time we like also transitioned just to go to like Coors Light.
Yeah,
because we were kind of exploring all the different cool beers and all this different stuff, and then it was like, what are we doing? We want to be able to drink all day. We want to be able to like have conversation and not get blacked out drunk like right away. That's the plan. Let's be honest. That's where we're going with this.
I don't like to get blacked out until 3 p.m. at least.
I'm refined.
Yeah, so I was like, that's when we started making real decisions. That's when we all grew up.
It's funny. I had
really forced us to grow up right about then.
Yeah. I had a group of friends, and after high school, they all got an apartment together, and they like to drink, and they're like, this apartment sucks. We need a bigger area. So like 5 guys rented a house together. And they're like, finally, we have the room. They had a huge downstairs. So they turned their downstairs into a bar. They got 2 kegerators. They got a Jaegerator of all things.
Yeah.
They went to a bar that was shutting down and bought their old countertop. And like they went on eBay and got like neon lights and mirrors and all the sign. They made their downstairs a real bar. But
And then the lease expired.
No, they all like drinking and partying. These say, same type of stories. And so you'd go over one time and it's like, oh, this is amazing. You guys did such a good job. And then you'd see them again like a month or 2 later. And you go over and it's like, oh, cool, the bar, but that sign's broken and what there's a hole in the drywall here.
Yeah.
And then it's like another month later, it's like, what happened to the main light? I got, you go over and more shit was broken. Eventually, the bar looked like shit. Everything was broken.
Yeah, you can have a bar at your house, but you can't have a dive bar at your house. That's the fucking problem, right? Like, and guess what? If you're in your 20s, the shit's a dive bar. I don't care what anybody does. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're better off in a garage with some folding chairs and tables.
No shit. Yeah. At some point, it's like you gotta really just invest in that. You can't try and get too fancy too young. The worst, you'll end up fucking it up.
The worst too is like getting pool tables and putting them in bars, and they'll spend a ton of money on this thing. And next thing you know, all the velvet's ripped and there's stains everywhere and cigarette burn marks on stuff.
Yeah, we had a guy who he had a pool table downstairs, and then beer pong got really popular. So then it was like, oh, well, we'll just cover the bar with a tabletop, or the pool table with the tabletop, and play beer pong. And I think it was like too wide because it was like a really good one, right? So it was, I think, a little too wide. So they thought, oh, we'll just take and cut a couple pieces of plywood and we'll butt it together in the middle. But then it's like, guess what, motherfucker? Like, we're going to do this. We're going to get hammered, and nobody's going to pick this up. And mold and everything else started growing underneath it and completely wrecked the felt of this like kind of a nice pool table. Yeah. And it was just like
$1,200 table or something.
Yeah. Do you guys like playing pool?
No.
I like ping pong more.
I was just sitting here thinking that I wonder if they make like a half-size ping pong table that I could put in my garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, they fold up a lot of times, so they take away space.
Yeah.
And
so
then,
you can play with yourself.
Yeah. Like Forrest Gump. He's just in his garage all night sweating, practicing.
Well, at the apprenticeship, ping pong was huge at the apprenticeship.
We had foosball up at ours.
Okay.
And it got so loud and rowdy that there were multiple times they came in and told us to like tune it down a little bit.
Yeah, that's what happened down there. It was ping pong. Motherfuckers started bringing their own paddles and stuff. It was like, what the fuck? Yeah. They'd catch people like skipping class and going out there and playing in the middle of the class. Yeah. It was like, you motherfuckers.
Yeah. Ping pong's fun. And it's insane when you watch those like
Asians.
World Olympic finals. And those,
Asians,
dude, they'll be 15 feet away from the table, each of them, just back and forth. Yeah.
You know what's even crazier than that is the soccer. Have you ever seen that?
Where they play over a volleyball net?
No. That's even fucking crazier. But it's like a ping pong table, but the table's like arced.
Yeah.
And it's
I've
like
seen
curved,
that.
like it ain't gonna hold anything.
They're kicking a soccer ball, or
they're kicking a soccer ball over it and hitting the table, and then it's bouncing, and then they're jumping up, and it's like everything is like these
like
crazy
spin kicks
and shit. It is absolutely. I've never been that athletic in my life. Right. It's like, how can anybody do that? The flexibility, like you have to be super warm, I would imagine, to be able to even start. Like that's super impressive. Yeah. I saw that. I didn't see anybody playing it, but I saw the tables. Last weekend, I went to, is it Starfire? Is that the...
Oh, where the Sounders play?
Is that where they play, or is that the...
It's down by...
it's in like Kent?
By Marymore area?
No, this was in like Kent?
Oh, I know where that is. Yeah, that's where they host all the tournaments, like the big soccer tournaments.
Yeah. But I watched, apparently Seattle has a professional rugby team.
Yes.
Yeah, really? I didn't know the Seawolves, and we went and watched the Seawolves play.
God, cool. I hate all our sea names.
Yeah.
Can we back it off?
Yeah.
Like the Kraken, it's from the sea. And then, it's like, dude, how about just something else? I don't care what it is.
Literally anything not maritime themed.
Yeah.
No. Well, how many people here are sailors? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
How many of these motherfuckers have even touched the ocean?
Seattle Microsoft execs.
Yeah. No shit. That's what.
The Kirkland Kelps.
Yeah. What the hell? Yeah.
That's right. The Karens.
Yeah, the Karens. That's more like
The Kirkland Karens. Yeah.
I think, if we were being realistic, it'd be like the
Kirkland Yuppies.
it'd be like the Kirkland Indians, or like
the Bothell Indians,
the redmen.
the North Bothell Pakistanis.
That's what it would be. The
shit.
Bellevue Bangladeshis.
Gold Bar meth addicts. What else we got?
Yeah,
That's funny.
Everett White Trash represent.
Here, present.
Oh man.
Yeah. Oh, dude, you know what? We went to Kirkland, or not Kirkland, Everett the other night. Everett's kind of nice.
There's parts of it, like up on Colby Ave, up on top of the hill, that are really nice. And then the weird thing about Everett is you'll have like really nice areas, and then 2 blocks away is just like Skid Row.
We saw that. But it was like, I didn't feel like, oh, I can't park my car here.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, we'll park, we'll get out and we'll go and, do our thing. Chandra didn't have her ID, so we got kicked out of a bar, but that's okay. No big deal. But it was just like there, especially like right now when it's kind of nice out, because it reminds me of like old Seattle, where it's kind of like
Old Port City, looking over the water.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
So I think we went to like that Anthony's wood play,
down
wood
by the
fire.
waterfront.
Yeah, it was trash, but it was cool.
The wood fire isn't very good. Their seafood is amazing. The one that is like
the actual Anthony's.
yeah.
Anthony's has gone downhill, though, I think.
Has
It's
it
not what
really?
they used to have, like
No.
all you could eat Dungeness crab, and it just kind of doesn't feel.
Well, we've gone there for, and this breaks my heart to say, but we've gone there for like Thanksgiving.
yeah.
As in,
wrong with
dude,
that?
well, because people are working on Thanksgiving, it kind of bums me out.
Yeah, they get tipped very well.
They
I'm
do
sure
get
they
tipped.
want
They're stoked, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, but it was just like you go there and it's like, it's a buffet of seafood, and they have crab just going and going and going. You get full on whatever you want. You could literally just eat shrimp and crab the entire morning. It's like a brunch.
No shit.
It's so good.
What's that? Is it Salty's on Alki that does that breakfast buffet?
I don't know. I won't go into Seattle.
Oh, dude, that place used to be the best. You do, and it's the same thing. I think it's Salty's.
That rings a bell, but I haven't ever been.
Oh, it's the same thing, but they're a high-end seafood, Seattle. Not highest event, but I mean, it's a buffet, and then they have seafood omelet stations. So, you ever go to those?
Dude, a crab omelet is to fuck, like crab and cheddar and scrambled eggs is to die for. Maybe green onions.
Sorry, go ahead.
No.
Sorry, we're over here coming up with recipes.
You ever go to those Mongolian grills where you make your own bowl and then they cook it? You do that same thing with seafood. You're like, here's an octopus tentacle and a bunch of crab. And
that's cool.
It was amazing.
I watched my dad accidentally eat a piece of chicken he thought was fish. Like he thought it was like raw. He thought it was sashimi, and he grabbed a piece of chicken and ate it. And we're like, no. And he's like, it doesn't get much more fresh than this. And he's like, pulls it up and right down the gullet. And
You're gonna die, dude.
I was like, oh no. And he was just like, oh yeah, I'll get sick or I won't, whatever. Yeah. And I was just like, oh fuck, Dad's a gangster.
No way.
Like, but are you gonna do any fishing this year?
I'm trying to get the boat going. I got a guy coming from Cabela's to it runs. It's just when I put it in the water and put it under load, it doesn't run right anymore since I rebuilt the carburetor the last time. But I think I also replaced my.
Is it like falling on its face, or is it?
It just doesn't get all the way running peak RPM. Like I thought it was a fuel delivery and like something like fine tuning it, my mixture and where it's idling, but I just can't get it right. So I think it has. I told the guy that I'm having work on it, what's going on, and he thinks it might be something to do with the electronic choke isn't fully deactivating, so it's muffling it, and then maybe a timing issue since I replaced the belts, all the serpentine belts on it. So I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, I'd like to get out there and do some fishing this year.
The boys would love it too if we could go crabbing for a day.
I mean, it's all registered, insured, everything. It run. I just got to get it tuned. I don't want to. Some people, they're like, I got it running. It's good enough. And they'll put through the Puget Sound. It's like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, no. That's fine for a little lake, but if you're going out on the open water, we need to have properly functioning equipment.
That'd be nice.
Have you ever gone sturgeon fishing?
I haven't. Apparently, they're in like the Snohomish River.
Oh yeah,
Sturgeon are?
no, yeah.
Oh, I thought you had to go down to the Columbia.
Well,
No,
they're down
they're-
there. They're massive ones
big
down
down
there.
there, yeah.
Like massive.
Well, if you're
But
gonna
there's
go,
massive ones still here. Even.
really,
yeah, just fucking
drag a dinosaur up out of the bottom.
yeah.
We were my buddy and I were fishing one time on the Skagit, and
We should. Sorry, go ahead.
and these people next to us were fishing, and we're salmon fishing, and all of a sudden this guy's line gets hit next to us that's fishing, and it's not like a salmon running. It was like a shark hit his line and fucking like
shit.
it was ripping line out of there, and he must have fought it for 30 minutes, and then his line finally snapped, and he had like 25-pound tests, which for a river that's pretty beefy. But it was the closest I ever saw to someone getting one. But it was incredible.
It was a sturgeon.
Yeah.
I didn't know they took off like that. I thought they were slow moving.
They're just so big. It's going to, like, a salmon, even like a 10-pound salmon fighting, is going to be pulling line out.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so a huge, like, 100+ pound fish is just going to take off with it.
Oh, okay.
Even though they're
I
not going
still-
fast,
okay.
it's just
Yeah, I
ripping it
gotcha.
out of there.
Yeah, it's all torque.
Yeah.
Just fucking dragging line. Yeah, you can't thumb down on something like that and snap. Fuck.
Yeah. Gotta let them take it.
I caught a 26.5-pound trout.
That's incredible.
It was 40
26
inches.
and a half pound trout.
40 inches. It was massive.
A 4-foot trout. 3.5.
Huh?
A 3.5-foot trout.
Yeah, I have it up on my wall
Where was this?
in a lake. No, it was a Cleellum.
No shit.
Yeah, it was massive, and it
Holy
was
shit.
back. I was 11.
I didn't know they got that big.
They got that big.
All right.
Yeah, we've caught some fucking monsters. But that it was 20 minutes of, and when I hooked into that, it was at first it was like, oh, we're on the bottom, we're on, because we were trolling, and all of a sudden thought we hit a tree or something, and it was like shit, and then all of a sudden,
Did you just hit your vape?
Maybe.
Okay, because I farted at the same time, and now it smells like cherries over here. And it was very, I was very
was the
confused.
blueberry.
I was very confused for a minute.
That buzzing's settling nicely.
yeah, that's fucking phenomenal. But yeah,
man.
but yeah, so ended up hooking that in. I should show you guys the picture. It's freaking massive.
Well, I'm curious because trout fishing, I would typically have like lighter line. You must
It
have
was
had-
6.5-pound test.
no shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean, the trout we were consistently getting into were probably about 15 to 20 pounds.
No shit.
I'd say, yeah, 10, I'd say 10 to 15 pounds. They're massive. But we're trolling, right? We're in a boat and we're, cruising around. And that's primarily how I grew up fishing.
Okay.
Was that.
Were you using downriggers then?
Yeah.
Or cowbells and just
That
letting it surf?
downriggers.
Downriggers?
Yeah. So we'd have that just downriggered out. And, it was a freaking blast. Like that's what I want to get back into. I want to buy a boat and like be able to go out and do like trolling in a boat.
That
and,
kayak I bought has a mount for an electric motor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But something like that would be really cool to start doing. And then like I could see doing fishing trips or like a trip like that where we go out and do that and then get off. Because over there in like
Take some
Cleellum,
dirt bikes.
That's what I'm
some
saying.
Fucking kayaks.
yeah, there's a shitload of
Some
trails up there.
1022s.
Yeah, dude. We should do a camp out,
we should, over Teanaway.
the Neanderthal camp out, and whoever wants to come, bring them out.
Bring them out.
Bring them out.
Let's not go whoever wants to come. We could end up with some real weird. We don't know who's listening to this program. Let's
Just
be
some
honest.
psycho shows up in the middle of the night with a lantern like an old ship captain.
Yeah.
And a 1022.
Yeah.
Okay, well, never mind.
Actually, if you show up with a gas lantern and a 1022 in the middle of the night, you're
kind of our
people.
people.
He might be my best friend.
Yeah. I'm gonna check your bag for beer.
Yeah.
If it's Bud Light, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
We used to go every year to Lake Curlew, which is in Republic, just a little north of where we
where
were
I grew
turkey
up.
hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we would fish that for like a week. And it was so awesome because it was like you bring bikes, you bring just a little boat with the motor. The lake's stocked full of fish.
Oh, was
the
that-
weather's nice.
Oh no, that was Banks Lake. Never mind. I said we drove through there, huh?
That was Banks. Curlew's way better because you're in the remote
yeah,
wilderness. And animals everywhere. And then that area too, you can go fossil hunting.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That would
Sounds
be
like fun.
It's a
little
fun
archaeology trip.
Yeah. That's a fun area, that whole northeastern Washington state.
Yeah. Oh,
It doesn't get a lot of
it's
love.
The best.
Yeah.
Well, that's why it's such a great area. It's largely, if you say, hey, what's in the northeastern corner of Washington State? Everybody thinks of Washington State as Mount Rainier and Seattle and rainforest and the coastline. There's this whole other part of the state, and especially up in that northeastern corner that gets sort of forgotten about, and it's largely untouched.
Yeah, you have a fucking a herd of it starts with a C. Golly,
Caribou.
Thank you. Caribou herd up there.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's damn near Canada, don't you know?
Don't you know?
Yeah, caribou and moose and all manners of shit.
I've heard they get moose all the way down in Oregon.
I'm sure they do.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, I mean they don't pay attention to these lines, these invisible lines we put on the ground.
What's going on with that reintroduction of grizzlies into the North Cascades?
I think
Is that got
I think
approved?
they've now. No, I think they've actually released a few animals.
They've already
like one or
started?
two of the bears, I believe. I could be wrong.
Is it collared?
Good
They should
question.
have a website that you can
question.
track them.
Yeah.
That would
Actually,
be cool.
someone
That
would
be kinda
kill
cool.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, I mean, but could you imagine being out there and getting charged by a freaking grizzly? Oh my!
That changes deer hunting a little bit.
It does.
Yeah, there. I bought
Because where we go is
I
where
bought-
those bear are like,
Yes,
this is
that's
this
their
is
country.
habitat.
Yeah, yeah. No, I bought a 10mm pistol for that reason.
Fuck, is that even big enough for a grizzly?
Yeah, I think if you're gonna have a handgun, I think that's a good one to have.
What's that 44 Red Hawk?
You buy special ammo for it too, like hot loads that are made out of, and the bullets themselves are made out of
Hard
like cast
cast.
iron or tungsten or something. So that
200
they're not going to break
grains.
apart. They're going to penetrate.
Yeah, those things are. But the nice thing about a Glock 20 or a Glock whatever, a 10mm Glock, you have 15 rounds, right? Versus like a 6-shooter where you're shooting a 44 mag or a fucking 454 Kazoo or whatever. You got 5 rounds, 6 rounds.
Well, we
It's like, good
shot
luck.
Jake's 357 Magnum, and I can tell you that 10mm Glock is much easier to shoot.
Oh, I would imagine.
And I mean, it might not be quite as hot, but it's gonna get the job
But you can
done,
also
I think.
repeat. Bop, bop, bop,
Yeah.
bop, 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 bop. You're not getting second, third shots off with that revolver very quickly.
No, I'm way more comfortable with a Glock.
Yeah.
Way more comfortable.
Well, you're used to the platform.
Well,
I was
that's
just
what
going
I'm
to say,
saying.
it's also
I've
just
trained
easy to
with it.
use. You know what I mean?
How many people go out and train for their
Revolver
sidearm?
training for a grizzly bear, for a throwdown with a grizzly bear.
Yeah, I bet there's like a really like cool class in Alaska that some people might do, right? But like very rarely are people like actually drawing. And that's the crazy thing too about that is like you carry a sidearm for like the most dangerous game in the most dangerous environment, like in such an unpractical way where you just don't train, you just carry it and you're like, this is gonna work.
Yeah.
It's like same with like bear spray. People don't train with bear spray.
Yeah.
And then it's like it's go time.
Oh shit! There's a pin.
Yeah.
And maybe we need to get a few reps before deer season this year.
Well, running a chest
we
rig.
should see how bad it hurts.
What?
The bear spray.
No. Oh, Mike should. Yeah.
Yeah, great idea,
I had
dude.
a great idea to spray Mike.
I got some
I am
in my
fragile,
truck, dude.
guys.
Yeah, I got my bum spray in the
Maybe
truck.
that could be like a new white belt initiation at the gym if we can talk Greg into it.
Yeah.
We should spray
Get all
someone.
the white belts lined up out here. We got to test this shit.
You imagine like that's the gauntlet for promotions. Walk through this mist. You will come out the other side a blue belt.
We made a maze. We're gonna mace you in the face and see who gets through.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's got to be some form of like
It is fun to shoot steel targets with the 10mm because when you hit when you hit steel with the 9mm, it's like ping 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 ping, and when you hit it with the 10mm, it slaps that thing and it swings back like it's clang and it swings back and forth on its mount. It's like, oh shit, you can tell just by the way it slaps the steel that it's packing a lot more kinetic energy.
Is there a handgun that would go through that steel?
I doubt it. I've shot that steel with green tip out of my AR on accident, not paying attention, and it doesn't even put a divot in it.
I maybe a fucking Smith & Wesson 500, like relatively close or something like that, maybe.
Because as a kid, I always thought.
I think handgun rounds are too slow.
Oh, really?
If it's a wide flat surface area like a large bore bullet, like a 10mm or like a 500 or whatever, and it's at slow velocity, it's not going to have great penetration power.
Yeah.
So a green tip 5.56 going 3,000 feet per second with a very tiny impact area, if that's not going to penetrate, then the big fat handgun slug is not going to.
That's a good point.
It may be something like a 300 Win mag, but then you have to give it enough room to accelerate to its max velocity. So I'm not even sure a 300 Win mag hits max velocity until like 100 yards.
Yeah, until it's pretty
still
far out there.
It's still accelerating for a ways. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Jordan has a 300 Win mag. We have some steel targets. We could probably figure that. We could do a little hillbilly science.
What kind of what's the make? Or
a Smith & Wesson Model 70.
Okay.
Winchester.
Oh, Winchester. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking that Smith & Wesson 500 still.
It's a nice rifle.
Is it wood or synthetic?
It's wood. I'd like to build a good rifle out of a Model 70 action because I really like that old Bowser style action.
Is it
the extractor claw looks fucking cool? And
is anything done on it? Like, is it fluted or does it have a muzzle brake?
Rock stock. I took it from my brother.
God, why don't you put on a muzzle brake on that?
I don't think it's threaded.
I said, it's not threaded.
No, but get it threaded.
I could. You
Isn't
could
that
spend a bunch
kick?
of money on it.
That kick's got to be bad, isn't it?
I really enjoy shooting it compared to some other guns. Yeah, like I had a 7mm rim mag.
Yeah, that'll hit.
That was a synthetic stock, kind of a light gun, and that fucking sucked.
Like a mule.
Yeah, that sucked way worse.
Yeah.
And then I got the 300, and it was like, oh, this is way nicer to shoot.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, I took it from my brother, so I don't want to put a bunch of money into it and then have him come in looking for it. Yeah. Although he was like, yeah, you can borrow it, and then I had to put
15 years later.
I had to put $400 into it right away because it was all fucked up. And I was like, ah, damn it. Okay, fine.
Do you think in 10 years we'll be able to draw a grizzly tag?
No.
Dang it.
No, because wolves have been here for how long without reintroduction? They've been wolves here for a while.
They tie up all that shit into court. Yeah, I think they did it in, where was it? Where they reintroduced, and they said, oh, once they get to a certain number of breeding pair, as a Colorado, when they get to a certain number of breeding pair, we're going to allow you guys to hunt them, and then there's still arbitrations going on, and the court system to where they won't allow it, and it's meanwhile there's just more and more and more. I know they do a good job with that, the PETA people.
So you can hunt grizzly in Alaska, but can you hunt them in Canada? Because I know British Columbia has a huge grizzly and black bear population. Can you hunt grizzlies in Canada?
I don't know.
Or it's only Alaska?
You can. I think you can. I mean, it might be only nuisance bears or some shit, or depredation stuff. But Alaska, you can. Expensive as all fuck. I guess the spot to go, I think it'd be anywhere
couple
from
grand.
No.
Have you guys watched that Cam Haines
it's
movie?
It's more
Once We Were Wolves.
Yeah.
It's more I want to say 12.
12 grand?
Yeah. And then, but the spot to go, I guess, if you really want to do
Kodiak?
is Russia.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Which isn't that much further than going to Alaska.
Yeah.
And
you're there.
across the land bridge there, the ice bridge, right? And you end up in some
see
spots
Russia from my
there.
house.
Yeah. That I guess you can go and get it done pretty cheap. But I think at that point you're bringing game back into America.
That gets weird, probably.
Yeah.
Although, I bet they'll probably allow you to bring the hide and the head and everything.
Yeah.
So you could probably give the meat away to the local village and come home with the hide.
Yeah.
I would not want to give all the meat away though. If I shoot a grizzly bear, I want to eat some of it.
Yeah.
But that's where you can get away with it in Alaska. I'm just curious, right? What it would taste like. It would probably taste like salmon and
only if it's coastal though. It's you hunt a grizzly in Montana, it's not going to have any of that fishy because there isn't as many.
Now, is it the brown bear is inland?
I think brown bear is the coastal. If they're living near the coast and eating salmon, they're brown bear.
I know we've had this conversation before.
I know, and I always forget which is which. I think the grizzlies are up away from the water.
Yeah. But that would be that would be cool to
But
go
it's the
on
same
a hunt
fucking.
like
they're
that.
the same species, right? It's literally just down to where they live. Yeah,
I believe.
Right.
Yeah, and one's bigger.
Oh,
because of it.
Maybe they're subspecies.
I think it's the.
Probably
I think
a little
one's
genetic variation.
Yeah, I think the ones eating fish and all that shit are a little bigger. A lot of protein doing that.
All right, I'm out of coffee. Can we take a pee break?
Pee break.
And it's almost PM. Maybe bust out a silver bullet or two.
If
Do we
I
do
had
have
any,
Oh no, we're dry.
we're dry, boys. I got tequila. You guys want a shot?
Nope. All right.
Jordan.
Great grandpa used to have these little like caps that
Like
Blasting caps?
they might be blasting caps. I don't know. They would use them for the railroad. So if there was like something in the railroad that they needed the train to stop, they'd try and go like a mile in like in front of the hazard or whatever it was, and they would set 3 of these like. Remember those paper caps you'd put in like little rolls and you'd put them in like little toy gun? It was like that, but they were like a 1-inch thing of powder, and it was like a big hump, and then it was like maybe a 4x4 piece of paper kind of thing, like a thick paper.
Derail the train to stop it.
Well, yeah, you'd put it down on, and it'd blow up, and
Yeah.
it's like, you know, all that pressure would just boom, and then they'd hit another one, boom, boom, so they would know like, oh shit, we need to.
That's the warning.
That's the warning. Slow down. Start putting the brakes on, but they'd hear crack, 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 kind of thing.
The work crew then a mile away would hear it, so they know a train's coming. Is that the idea?
No. The conductor would then go, okay, I need to slow down.
Okay.
So they would hear it. So like it was just in case, like, because they didn't have radios or anything, right? So it was like, oh, go in
Oh, I
front.
see. Set them out as a precaution because they don't know
hey,
if a
there's
train's
something
coming
on the
through.
tracks.
I
There's
gotcha.
some fucked up thing. So they'd
Yeah.
have that. Anyway, he would have. I don't know how the hell he got them, but he had them. And he was telling me how they used to take them and smack them with sledgehammers and let the sledgehammers just fly up
in the air.
It's like you hit these
Jesus.
fucking things
Yeah.
with sledgehammer and just launch the sledgehammer. But yeah, that was also back in the day.
When I first started doing graphics, I did a lot of work for dealerships. And a lot of the dealerships, due to repairs or old inventory they had to get rid of, or they would get the airbag harness, like the wiring harness,
Oh, yeah.
and they have all the charges inside of them. So they would have these old ones that either got recalled or were in accident, and they would go back to the dealership, and the dealership would have to explode them.
Yeah.
We had this little box with a positive and negative. You hook it into it,
Yeah.
and you hit it and do the charge. Well, the charge it's actually kind of a big charge that explodes out of there, but sometimes we'd still have the airbags attached to them, and we'd put car tires on them, and you just start fucking around with these things, and we're blasting car tires 50 feet in the air almost with these airbags just blowing. You had to get rid of them. That was kind of fun.
Yeah. When I got in a car accident, probably, 7 years ago, and it set off all the airbags in my truck. And for like a brief moment, right when it happened, I thought I had been ambushed in Iraq because it's gunpowder. And so it smells like cordite when it goes off. And so here I am in my truck, and all of a sudden, boom, the truck's full of smoke and gunpowder smell. And there was like a real brief kind of flashback moment.
I'll never forget, I was driving on the trestle to hop onto I-5, and there was a Jetta in front of me. And it was a girl driving, and I don't know, she must have been on her phone, but I saw the car in front of her slow down really fast. And she did not slow down at all. And I'm just watching behind, and I see a car with a chick in it, and I see through all the windows, and it's like, oh no, she's going to crash. She hits, and that car went instantly white. Like I couldn't see the seats, couldn't see daylight through it. Yep. It was just like she got gassed in there.
Just the gnarliest.
No impact injuries, but you get cancer 5 years later from all the shit you inhale.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Agent White. Yeah.
No. All right. So at the break, we looked up a few vehicle stats, although I don't know how accurate they were. Yeah. The CRF 300, according to the interwebs, is somehow heavier than the CRF 450, which, if it's accurate, then the CRF 450 and my XR 250 are roughly the same weight at around 250 pounds, and the CRF 300 is 300 pounds. So I don't know.
A 300.
I guess the responsible thing to do would be to go to a dealership and sit on them.
Yeah. Go rip around on them.
Yeah.
It's too bad you can't really do like a trial.
Yeah.
You know, like you ever go skiing and they're like, oh, try these skis or rent
rent
a
the
board.
demo skis and then.
Yeah, because it would be nice to be like, take this bike for a weekend and see how it handles.
It was the same thing with racing enduro mountain bikes and downhill mountain bikes, where it's like when you're trying to decide which one to buy, they have different suspension ratios designed into the frame. So each bike is going to ride differently based on its geometry and kinematics. But you can't just go out and demo a bunch of them. Or the demo fleets or the rental fleets are all clapped out and using shitty worn out tires and whatnot. And it's like you can't really get the real feel of what it will feel like when you have it built to your own specs with the tires that you like and the rims that you like and the suspension set up the way that you like. And so I went through, God, I had a new bike every year for like 5 or 6 years until I found one that I really liked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Jordan and I both need new bikes.
You do.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
My tires don't even hold air.
That's everyone. That video popped up the other day for me with you guys when I was riding behind you guys in the dark as we're ripping down the hill.
Yeah.
I was so expecting one of you to just eat shit straight to your face.
That's why he's filming it.
Yep.
I've done that so many times like that. Yeah.
And then the second time we went, Mike's like, well, let me ride one of your bikes. So not thinking, I let you ride my hardtail, and I rode my big heavy enduro bike, which has heavy tires and dual suspension, and I was working my fucking ass off to pedal up that hill, and I was like, why did I give Mike the fast bike?
It's such a difference riding that bike uphill.
Yeah.
Like I sometimes like riding it, you get smoked going up there. Riding your bike, it was like
dancing up
it was a pleasure. I felt like Mary Poppins riding through the English country on a nice bike. It was so lovely.
And the difference there,
So lovely.
yeah. And what makes the difference there is that I have those tires
wider or bigger tire ratio.
It's not just that. I have wider tires, yes, but I have tires with a harder rubber and a very low rolling resistance tread pattern, so they don't fight you a lot as you're pedaling uphill. And then because the geometry of that frame is very spot on, the seat tube angle is steep, so that when you're going uphill, your hips are over the top of the bottom bracket, which is where which is the spindle where the pedals.
Yeah.
So rather than being sort of feeling like you're leaning off the back of the bike, you feel like you're sitting over the top of it, and you can put power down into the pedals.
Also, aren't those tires like 27-inch radius or something?
They were 29.
29. So I think mine is like 26.
Yeah.
And it,
Makes a big difference.
And
that's more rotations per pump with yours.
And my rims are probably lighter than yours, so you have less rotational mass.
I bet they're stronger too.
Yes.
Well, it's crazy. Those tires hold air, unlike mine. That's what really fucked me up.
That's what it really comes down to, is you were pedaling yours with a flat tire.
There ain't much of a harder compound than fucking straight metal on gravel.
That's all heart, boys. That's what got me to the top of the mountain.
Yeah, Mike was fucking trucking going up there. I felt kind of bad for you.
What you had all that duct tape out?
Time for a new bike.
Shit. Yeah. What bikes should we get?
Kona is a really good bang for the buck if you want to get like you guys need.
Is that really a Hawaiian brand? Or
no, they're from Bellingham.
Oh, really? We're Duluth Bike Company. Where are you from? Florida?
Yeah. You know how people go on vacation for a week and they get really inspired by like the island lifestyle and they're like, I'm going to come home and bring this home with. I think that it's probably something like that.
Yeah.
Would be my guess.
Yeah, probably.
But you guys need disc brakes. For what we were coming down that road as fast as we were, you guys need disc brakes.
It's a bunch of malarkey.
And good tire. You need good rims, and you need strong rims and good tires.
God. Next, you're going to tell me to wear a helmet.
Yep. Yeah, and you need a fucking helmet.
Whatever, bro.
Helmet.
Dude, the amount of times at like 11:30 at night ripping down that thing with a headlamp, or the moon's out and you're like, I don't need a headlamp. Yeah, dude.
Shut her down.
Yeah.
But there's no fucking way I'd ever walk up there after having done that.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
Think how long it would have taken to get in and get out.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of
we were
a nice
out
thing.
in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It took an hour to get in and 10 minutes to get out.
Where we go hunt elk, it's like that.
Yeah.
Kind of. It's up and down more, but it is a bike ride.
Yeah.
So you'll like that.
Right.
We're talking about bikes so much. What do you think, or well, motorcycles and bikes? Like we're saying a KTM is like a nice one. You're looking at $10,000-$15,000, but those KTM electric bikes I think are $15,000 as well.
Yeah.
It's a lot lighter. They're crazy torque.
But you got to be able to recharge it. You can't just pull
What's
into
the
the shitty gas
distance on
station.
that, you think?
I don't know.
Because it's like if it does
More by
30
hours,
miles,
Yeah.
that's pretty good for a dirt bike.
Yeah.
No, a dirt bike's tank of gas.
Yeah.
It's going to go like 57 miles.
But for an
57?
electric,
I would imagine
50
that's
and a half.
57 and a quarter.
Yeah.
0.36, no big deal. But
Yeah.
that's what it's going to
That
do.
sounds more like it. Yeah.
but aren't there? It's supposed to be way torqueier, right?
Oh, it's
the
instant.
electric,
It's full torque instant.
because it's electric.
In fact, you
It's
got
all
to be careful.
power band.
You got that's right.
I gotta
Power
be
band
careful
right off
on
the
it.
I'm sure there's like, software in there that keeps it from fucking setting you on your ass.
Yeah, but I bet you could also hack that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you
They're
can
like,
turn
oh,
on-
this is
Take the old restrictor plate off the Red Dragon here.
the old kill cycle. yeah,
Hey, kids, come here.
yeah.
just fucking quiet as shit.
You know what kind of hurts me about dirt bikes is that I felt like in the 90s, the 80s and especially the 90s, like motocross and dirt biking kind of was cross-cultural. It was in the zeitgeist, like Jeremy McGrath.
Oh, yeah.
All the, and like, it was
I had
kind
a
of
poster of Jeremy
mainstream
McGrath. Yeah.
almost to be more into dirt bikes and like a Kawasaki Green and
Yeah.
street bikes, Kawasaki Ninja. Everyone thought about dirt bikes and it doesn't seem to exist. And maybe, like we're saying earlier, technology like grows so big and Jordan's like, how many firsts are there that I can do?
Yeah.
Like maybe there's more, like side-by-siding seems way more popular than
Side-by-siding's-
people being into dirt bikes.
Well, I think the
people
level
are
of
fat.
athleticism, yeah.
Wally?
Yeah, It has to. If you look at the people riding in the side by side, you'll know everything you need to know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a combination of like they're expensive as all hell.
Yeah.
But in order to have a side by side, you either need a trailer or a truck, and you have to be able to pull it to where you're going.
both,
and then you
yeah.
got to get it out. But with a dirt bike, you can load that up on the back of a hitch of almost any vehicle.
Honda Civic.
Yeah, and you can take it wherever you want to go. So there's that, right? So it's way cheaper to have a dirt bike than it is to have a side by side.
Yeah.
But that dirt bike culture doesn't seem to exist like it
Because there's more shit.
too. Just
I think
there's more
shit. I
to
think with
distract you.
well, I think there's still. I think it's still there,
It's still there.
but
But
I
it
think
doesn't
that
seem
it's,
in the mainstream or the zeitgeist.
it's not
like
in your
it used-
mainstream anymore.
Yeah. Supercross is huge.
It's still huge, but it seemed like it used to cross. Like old retired people in the 90s knew who Jeremy McGrath was. Like
Yeah.
today, an old retired, I barely know who any
Yeah,
motorcycle
I couldn't tell you.
riders
It's
are.
is it Eli Tomac? Is he the number one right now? I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but
But what has crossed Mike's zeitgeist is those European, like not stunt jumping, but where it's like
trials.
oh my God.
Yeah,
a
that's
lot
just crazy.
a lot of those best guys are French and German. And those guys will jump blocks from one back tire, do a huge gap. It is insane watching those. It's kind of more exciting than motocross.
Oh, I think I like the hard enduro type, like the racing out in the woods, like up and down, like steep mountains and shit.
Yeah.
To me, that's my favorite genre to watch.
Okay.
And if I shouldn't say to ride, but it's the kind of riding I would like to do.
Yeah, but
what's the race they do in Washington? That's like, I think it's like
out in the
500
desert there,
miles or whatever.
like over in
yeah.
Moses Lake. I think that's that desert racing is also very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that looks like a blast.
Have you guys ever done the dunes where you put paddles on your tires?
I went once when I was a really little kid and got to putt around on a 4-wheeler a little bit, but no like crazy fast, like going for it.
Yeah.
Part of me wants to get a 4-wheeler.
They're fun, dude. I got that little.
I wouldn't want a sporty one. I'd want one of the big utility.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like a
four-
Grizzly or
four-wheel
one of
drive,
those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
power steering. Yeah, all the goods.
Yeah, like a Honda Renegade, or was it the Honda
Renegade?
Is it,
No,
is
that's
it a Renegade.
Yeah,
or it's a,
Renegade.
What's the Jeep? Recon.
Wrangler.
Oh, maybe
no.
it is a Renegade. Is the
No, what's it? God damn it!
You're talking about
the one with the truck bed Jeep?
No, just a normal Jeep. The high level
Rubicon.
Yeah, they have the Honda Rubicons.
That's a 4-wheeler.
That's a 4-wheeler. That's like the level package, and it's like all pimped out. But some of those are sweet. But then it's like, okay, a 4-wheeler versus a side-by-side. I'm leaning towards a side-by-side. So it's like, if you're going to do that, it's like you might as well get a side-by-side. But then if you're not going to do that, you might as well get a motorcycle because you're a little bit more nimble. It's like the cross between the two.
I think for me, it's easy because I've always loved two wheels. Since I was a kid, it was BMX, and then it was dirt bikes, and then it was mountain bikes, and now it's back to dirt bikes.
Yeah, but in my head, it's like if we did Turkey and I had all the funding, well, not all the funding, but my dream eventually, I mean, it would be so cool to go over there with a side-by-side, a 4-wheeler, and a dirt bike. Like, why not bring more and just whatever you feel you need, use it at the... that little pond.
Just ripping.
The leech trials.
But yeah, we should go check out Cycle Barn and maybe get into some bikes.
I need to buy a pair of boots anyway, so we'll go sit on that 450.
Well, maybe that's it, boys.
We might have to cut this episode short here in a few minutes.
Too much talking about dirt bikes. Let's go get one.
It would be cool to get set up, right, to where it's like, okay, this is a legit bike, and then go do that
adventure trail.
So
a CRF 450 street legal would be enough bike for that.
Oh fuck yeah. But I thought I thought that was all off.
No, because I looked really carefully because I really want to take Nathan, and he's obsessed. He's spent more time looking at that map than I have.
Okay.
And so there's a bunch of segments where we can go all off road, but to do the full Oregon to Canada, we got to go on Highway 12, which is a pretty gnarly highway.
It's like 80% off road.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Okay. So then how would Nathan? Would he be able to ride on it then?
That's what I'm saying. I was like, well, bud, you're not going to be able to do the full thing because you can't go on the highway. But we also need to start with short segments so that we can figure out all our problems ahead of time. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna learn through pain. Yeah. So we don't want to learn through pain 100 miles from help.
That's true.
Is 12 White Pass?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I guess I have to start figuring out this whole bike thing because I think I need to step. Obviously,
if you're saying the T-Dub is not the bike for that, then you need to start doing some shopping.
Yeah.
Because what we need to do we can do some short rides this summer, and then we'll figure out some of our failures for next summer, and then you can be looking at a bigger bike for next summer. And honestly, my 250 is not going on Highway 12.
Oh, you don't think so?
No, maybe I don't know. Maybe we just ride on the shoulder.
You hit 55 on that easy, dude.
I've had my bike up to 55. The problem is it starts getting pretty squirrely. It's not meant to go 55 on asphalt roads.
Nice knobby tires.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure somebody at Cycle Barn could lead us down the right road, or maybe we got somebody who can out there. If any of you guys know what the hell we're talking about, help us out here.
Yeah.
I am interested in trying to figure out.
And they make a rally version of the CRF, like the 300 Rally, it just has a fairing that probably makes it a little more comfortable on the highway at high speeds because it's going to redirect some of the wind around your shoulders. But I don't really know that we would need that. And I kind of like the more off-road style, just the dirt bike style anyway.
Well, sometimes when you see guys that convert their dirt bike to street legal, a lot of times you'll see them put on like almost it looks like a slick front tire, more so like a street racing.
Yeah.
I feel like the dirt bikes can do all the speed. It's just the tires that kind of fuck you
might be
over
absolutely
the most.
Right. Yes, because my rear tire is pretty good for dual on-road, off-road, but my front tire is definitely a knobby, like, off-road tire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you just got to choose what you're going to use it for most. On a trip like that, maybe it's worth just getting another tire and just swapping it out during the trip.
No, that would be so much.
No, not doing in the midst of the trip, but just for
yes, 100%. Yeah, because we don't need the big knobby. That's because that is a lot of gravel road.
Yeah.
So yes, you would not need the big knobby front, like off-road tire.
I wonder how many days it would take. that's like a weekend trip or if it's like.
I think the map said you need like 7 or 8 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Shit. It would be cool to do.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my camping style anyway, like kind of a little small pack that could fit on a motorcycle and, you know.
And there's a bunch of stuff, like it maps out all the stops where you get gas and resupply groceries and stuff like that.
22 and a fishing
yeah,
pole.
that's right. Yeah, I'm gonna need a scabbard for my 22 rifle.
Yeah.
Yeah, some kind of hard case on the side there.
These two guys ate squirrel all the way from Canada to Oregon. Apparently, it was cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, you guys want to call it, and then
Let's go dirt biking, boys.
Yeah, short episode, but the sun's out, summer's starting, and we are gonna go. We might look at dirt bikes, but we're also gonna go ride dirt bikes this afternoon. It's one of those Enlightened Neanderthal. It's a post pod.
Saturday fun day.
Saturday fun day. All right, guys.
trip.
Enjoy. This is not the intro. Catch y'all next time.
Later.